Hi gang, Jess Hartley here. Welcome to my weekly update for February 8th, 2019. This is actually going to be a 2-week update because last week I was so sick. There was no way I was getting in front of a camera. In fact, I was barely vertical. So we're going to go through the last 2 weeks rather than 1 week, starting with the weekend of January 25th through the 27th, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was at Dystopia Rising, Oregon, having a LARP adventure. And if you are interested in more information about that, be sure to check out my LARP adventure playlist here on YouTube. It is where I'm kind of grouping all of my LARP-focused vlog posts. But I had a great time, and the first episode of that came out just a couple of days ago on Wednesday the 5th. I ended up doing 3 vlogs worth of recording on that, so they'll be dropping for the next 3 Wednesdays. But if you're hearing this afterwards, please feel free to go check out the LARP Adventures folder, or I guess they call it playlist here on YouTube. That's where you'll find all of my fun little LARPing adventures. Monday, which would have been the 2nd, I believe, of February, I recorded the first of what's going to be an ongoing feature in my vlog, which is Vanity Shelf. As you can see behind me, the top shelf of my bookshelf here is all projects that I've worked on for various publishing companies. A lot of them are role-playing games, and I'm going to be going through them one by one and talking a little bit about what was going on with me at that time, how I came to get the job, if there were any interesting anecdotes about working on the project, what parts of the book I worked on, if it's a group project, as most RPG products are, and that sort of thing. So that was really fun. I recorded that, and the first episode's focusing on In Northern Twilight, which is the first novel that I ever wrote, and my entry into the role-playing game industry. It's set in the Exalted setting, published by White Wolf. Onyx Path now has the licensing for it, so they're putting out future Exalted products. So be sure and check that out. There will be an entire, again, playlist about those type of Vanity Shelf vlog episodes down below. In Northern Twilight's the only one that's there right now, but I'm going to be recording more of them later this coming week, and they'll be releasing over the next couple of months. On Monday, I also got to edit part 4 of the Greyhaven Writers Retreat vlog series that I did. That one features a conversation that I had with Joe Carricker, Joseph D. Carricker, for those of you who are looking for him online. He's also Oakthorn, Oakthorne on Twitter, and there's links to finding a lot of his products. He is, among other things, an amazing writer. He is the line developer for Blue Rose for Green Ronin, and we had a great time talking about writing and Sacred Band, his gay superhero novel that came out last year, Shadow Tide, which just released earlier this month and is an absolutely amazing novel. It's set in the Blue Rose gaming universe. So we had a lot of fun talking about that. I got the video for that edited, and it is going to be released on February 17th. So that will be the final part of the 4-part vlog episode that I did on the Greyhaven Writers Retreat. So be sure and check those out. They will be in their own little playlist, which is, I really like that kind of organization system. It lets people go and look at exactly the type of vlog issues or episodes. I'm not really even sure what to call vlog things, entries, but it lets you guys as viewers go and check out the ones you want to check out, because I'm going to be releasing them kind of alternating gaming focused ones and writing focused ones and adventure focused ones, so that way you can, if you're going to backlog through stuff, rather than if you're seeing stuff as it comes out, you'll be able to find exactly the things that you're feeling like viewing that day. It's a really neat feature. I also did something kind of fun that evening. The Dystopia Rising national plotline that's going on right now is about overthrowing slavery throughout the wastelands, and they're ramping up for a big event in April that's actually happening fairly close to where I live, out in Aberdeen, Washington, and they're encouraging players to use video and audio format with their characters to add to the hype for this cool national event that's coming out. So I recorded and posted a video based around my character Mother Maggie's response to this uprising that's happening against slavery, and that will be in the Dystopia Rising, or maybe in character. I'm not really sure what the name of the playlist is there, but it'll be in its own individual little playlist, and I'll be doing some more of them as we ramp up between now and April when the national event's happening. It's really interesting. We haven't really been encouraged in the past. Dystopia Rising really wanted to make certain that people weren't feeling a push to play the game between games like some LARPs have, some of the theater LARPs that I've participated in, unless you're really active in the emails and the forums and all of the online chat rooms and that kind of thing. It's really easy to fall so far behind that your character doesn't know what's going on, and it really comes to monopolize people's lives, which can be great when that's a positive thing, but it can also take over. And so Dystopia Rising has been very clear about the fact that they want game to happen at game, and being as though it's a post-apocalyptic setting, there is not much in the way of audio and video communication. There's no chat rooms in the post-apocalypse, at least in this version, and that sort of thing. So it kind of maintains the genre and immersion feel as well. So this is really something new that they're trying. They're allowing players to create these outgoing only messages rather than a back and forth two-way conversation. And I think it's really neat. If you're interested, I can put a link to the Dystopia Rising Facebook group. You're more than welcome to go and join it and browse it if you'd like. Feel free, if you have any questions or comments you want to ask, feel free to leave them in the comments here, and I'll get to them as much as I can. It's a kind of a fun little thing, and if you want to check it out, that's cool. Then with Tuesday came the great sickness. Oh my goodness, there is a cold going around with sinus stuff and coughing and sneezing and just general feeling like you've got no energy, and that pretty much took me out of commission. Tuesday through Friday, even Saturday, I was not feeling great. So I didn't get a whole lot accomplished. I took a lot of NyQuil, I slept a lot, and if you get exposed to this thing, I thoroughly encourage you to do the same, because it was bad. And then Sunday was the Super Bowl, which I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm not one of those geeks that makes fun of people being into football or baseball or any of those other sportsy things. Here, our housemates really enjoys football games, and so sometimes I watch them with him just as a companionship kind of thing. He's taught me a whole lot about them, and by that I mean I kind of know a little bit about what things happen now. And so we hosted a Super Bowl get-together here, just a couple of friends, and we watched the game, which was actually kind of boring. Even for a person who doesn't really follow sports, I could tell that there was not a whole lot going on with that game. So that was kind of But then afterwards, we had some fun. Every year, we try to do some sort of a taste testing thing after the Super Bowl while we've got people all gathered and record it. So this year, I got a bunch of different flavors of Oreos, and we ended up doing a taste test of like 10 different flavors, and we recorded it, and I was not really sure exactly when I was going to release it. But something happened later in the week that spawned that, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I just want to kind of go through things day by day, because otherwise I'm going to forget something. On Sunday also, I had set up to release part 2 of the Greyhaven Writers Retreat vlog that I did, and that one featured a conversation that I had with Keith Baker, who is an amazing game creator. For those of you who play D&D, he is the creator of Eberron, which is one of D&D's most popular settings. If you like card games, he invented Gloom, which is really cool. Even if you haven't played it, you may have seen it. It's the card game that has the clear see-through cards, and they overlap, and so you can see different aspects of them through the game or through the card layers. And it's a storytelling game. It's very morbid, and I absolutely adore it. He also created a game called Illimat, which was originally featured in a photo shoot that the Decemberists did for one of their albums. And then they had an idea, hey, what if we instead of just shooting pictures of the members of the band playing music, what if we kind of put together kind of a neat photo shoot that looks kind of like a secret society somewhere getting together to play this mystical board game? And so they did that for their photo shoot, and then they took the board game FizzRep that they had made for that, promptly threw it in the closet for a couple of years. And a couple of years later, they started getting more active in actually playing board and card games. And they met Keith, and they were talking about, how much they liked different board games. And they ended up asking him if he would be interested in creating an actual board game based on this FizzRep of a game that they had created a couple of years before that. And he did, and it eventually became this amazing game called Illimat, which we had a chance to play at the Greyhaven's Writers Retreat, which was lots of fun. I really enjoy it. And so if you're interested in learning more about Eberron or Gloom or Illimat or Keith Baker in general, please check out part 2 of my Greyhaven Writers Retreat, because we have a really great chat there. And that brings us to this week. Monday, we had snow here in Gresham, Oregon, which is really unusual. It's not unheard of, but it's really rare for us to get more than just a dusting that goes away the next day, more than maybe once or twice a winter. When we lived in New England, it was the first time I'd ever had a chance to see snow that stuck around long enough to become annoying. So it was really neat to get a chance to see it falling, and I posted a little video about the view outside of my office here. I'm very lucky. I've got a lovely big window, and it looks out kind of over our backyard and our neighbor's backyard. Also, I've realized that by just watching this vlog so far, it looks like I don't do much except go to retreats and to LARPs, but I actually do spend time writing. That's my job. At RadCon last November, RadCon is a science fiction convention that happens here in the Portland area, and they invited me to be their editor guest of honor last year. And when I was there, I met with an amazing lady who is in charge of NaNoEdmo, which is NaNoWriMo's newer and younger and less well-known sibling. And the idea is once you complete your novel in NaNoWriMo in November, you are encouraged then to, set it aside and kind of just let it perk for a little bit. And then in February, to make certain that you don't just leave it, to pick it back up and start really editing it hard. And they set the goal for 50 hours of editing during the month of February. And Amber, who runs NaNoEdmo, approached me at RadCon and asked if I'd be willing to write an essay article for this year's NaNoEdmo. And so of course I said yes, and I finally got that finished up and sent off to her. So that's going to be coming out on the NaNoEdmo website probably close to the end of March. So that'll be fun. No, wait. Now I'm thinking about it. I could be wrong. NaNoEdmo may actually be March, not February. That makes a lot more sense. So that'll be, I wrote an article on the simplest thing that you're not doing to edit your novel, and you'll have to check out the article to see what that is. I'll post about it when it comes live. So that was Tuesday. Got that all wrapped up. And then Wednesday morning came around, and this happened. That is, or shall I say was, my husband's beloved Nissan Xterra named Gojira, and he pulled out of the driveway to go to work, and the wheel fell off. Complicated story. I'm not a mechanic. Anyway, it was a really old vehicle, I think a 97, and we had a huge amount of miles and mileage on it. So we decided to let Gojira go to the great scrapyard in the sky, and we're now shopping for a car, so that took up most of my Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, part 1 of my LARP adventure for the Dystopia Rising Oregon game went live. So that one was really fun. I got to show off one of the physical reps, phys reps, props essentially, that my husband Pat at Bad Bear Labs had made for me. It's a gold leaf printing press, and it's really cool. So if you get a chance, go to the LARP Adventures playlist and check that out. And I talked a little bit about things like plots and how they differ, tabletop gaming versus LARP gaming and that sort of thing. So, as you may or may not know, I'm new to vlogging. I know, I'm such a professional, it really is hard to tell. But I just started in January of 2019. It started with a New Year's resolution to interact with social media differently than I had been in the past. And I had a kind of a stutter start because I discovered that my computer was just not strong enough to run video editing software of any sort. So I've only been doing this just almost a month now as of today, and so far so good. I've been putting out 2 or 3 episodes, sometimes even more, every week, and that's kind of the goal that I'm setting. But I noticed that my new YouTube channel had reached 97 subscribers on Wednesday, and I was really excited because when you're first starting out, I know that there's folks that have millions of subscribers, and that's amazing. But for a little vlogger like me, having 97 people who were willing to subscribe to my channel was really exciting. And I made a post on some social media about wanting to bribe neighborhood kids to subscribe so it would get up to an even 100. And oh my goodness, you guys just came out of the woodwork. It was so amazing. The next thing I know, we had 125 subscribers in that one day. So we literally had like 25% increase on the subscribers. So I went ahead and released, as a thank you, I released the video footage that we did, the vlog entry that we did about the Oreo taste testing. So you'll find that on Wednesday or Thursday. It dropped, so that was fun. So you can watch that if you're interested in finding out what we thought of these 10 different Oreo flavors, including one called Love Oreo. That was, well, you'll have to see it to believe it. It was interesting, to say the least. Thursday, I also spent part of the day grocery shopping because I'm doing a new freelance project and can't really talk about it yet. Still under NDA, which is non-disclosure agreement, which basically means that until I get permission for certain levels of advertising about it, I can't really talk about it. But anyway, it involves cooking, and for those of you who know me, that's a big plus. So Thursday, I spent quite a bit of time out and about, running errands and doing grocery shopping and that sort of thing. And as soon as I can talk about the project, I promise you guys will hear it first. So make sure you subscribe so that you'll hear about these things when new news comes out. I want to apologize if this week's recap is a little choppy. I still have a little bit of a cough, and so I keep turning off the recording rather than cough at you guys. So if I seem a little start and stoppy, that's what it is. So that brings us to Friday, today. And today I have been working on, recording this, for one thing. I'm prepping for, we've got a big snowstorm coming in, so that's very exciting. and I am waiting to hear back from a couple of beta readers that I have about a novel that it's the one that I took out to the Greyhaven Writers Retreat to work on. And so I wanted to approach you guys, being so you guys are following along with my vlog. I am looking for a couple more beta readers. If you are interested in reading fantasy, if you're interested in supernatural genres and that sort of thing, if you read fairly quickly, and if you are interested in giving feedback, send me an email. My email address is jess@jesshartley.com. I'll put it in the links down below. Send me an email and make the subject line beta reader application. It's a volunteer position, but you do get a chance to see some of my independent work before anybody else does, and to talk with me about it and have your input taken into consideration when I'm working on revisions and that sort of thing. So if you're interested in becoming a beta reader for me, please just send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you for watching my weekly recap for this 2-week period between January 25th and today, which is February 8th. Hopefully next week I'll actually be recording my weekly recap, I believe, on Thursday, because I'm going to be going out to RadCon in Pasco, Washington. I'm their writer guest of honor this year, and I'm going to be driving out, doing a bunch of panels, a keynote on writing, and I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been out to a RadCon before, so I'm going to have to do my recap a little bit early, so I guess that means I've just got to work extra hard to make sure I've got enough stuff about the weekend and the week to actually make it worthwhile to do a recap. I'm checking in with RadCon to find out what their policies are on vlogging at the convention. I'm hoping to be able to maybe even record part of the panels that I'm going to be running at and present those to you, for those of you who can't make it out to RadCon, or maybe who've never actually been to convention and gone to the panel type activities there. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but we definitely want to be respectful of their policies, so I'm waiting to hear back on that. And that's about it for the week. I'm going to wrap this up so that I can get it all edited and stitched together and polished and get it out to you guys, because I've got some more cooking to do later this evening, and I need to get on that before the snows start. So far, out my window, no snow, but it's supposed to be coming in pretty soon, so very excited. So as always, if you like this vlog episode, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up. That way I can know what kind of content you're interested in seeing more of. If you loved this, then be sure to subscribe so that you'll see more episodes in the future, and it'll be easier for you to come back. If you want to get notified when I put out a new vlog entry, hit that bell, because that'll activate your notifications. It'll just send you a little note on YouTube every time I put out a new post. Thanks very much, and have a great weekend.